Hey guys, today I want to share with you how you can get the most out of your wholesale deals by maximizing the profit as well as maximizing your efficiency. What it really comes down to is knowing your buyers, knowing them well, and having a system that you can identify them when you are doing dispo. All right, so let me show you in REsimpli how you can gather and use all of this information. Let's start from the top here. The first thing you want to do is build out your custom form for your buyers tab. And this is basically going to be the script that your team will follow when vetting out a new buyer. And then this will be the information available to you held on the buyer's profile so you can see exactly what they're looking for. All right, this is fully customizable. You can do different drop downs. You can choose multi-line text for answers, single line text. If it's dollar signs, there's a lot that you can choose to customize. But let me just go through what we do. Basically, we're trying to find how we can segment buyers that when we have a deal, we can very easily send it to the people that want to see it. So we're not filling up people's junk or people thinking that we're junk and then they ignore us. All right. So we want to get this to people that want it. And then number two, we want to make it super easy for our dispositions person to target in on the very best buyers, the people most likely to buy this property, the most likely to pay the most for this property based on a few things. Where it's located is huge. What type of property is, meaning what type of buyer is going to want this property. Is this a fix and flip investor is looking for something quite different than buy and hold investor? And then the other thing that will set you apart from so many other people that are just throwing things out there and seeing who calls them is being able to actually target buyers based on their investment criteria. Meaning when we get a deal under contract and we've run all the numbers and we know that this property is going to bring in, let's say, $200 a month cash flow, we know who our rental property buyers are, who our landlord investor buyers are, and we know the ones that are purchasing based on a cash flow amount, not based on rent percent rules, not based on cap rules or cap rates. Not saying you can't target all of these people, but my dispo person is going to do a quick search and find all of our landlord buyers that we've identified that want a minimum of $200 or minimum $100, whatever that looks like that you've gathered. And then we're going to be able to pick up the phone very strategically and find people that want our deal. All right, let me show you how you can do this. Targeting the property type, as we already mentioned, and the exit strategy. This is where it really gets good. In addition to location, if you can know the types of returns that somebody is looking for. For us, we categorized a couple different things for rental properties, whether it's like the 1% rule you may have heard of, or cash flow, like I just mentioned before, $200 minimum, for example. You'll have to consider what current interest rates are or knowing, what people are paying. Cap rate, that can be applied typically for commercial and larger properties, but some people may still use that type of parameter. Dollar per profit. This is more of a flip calculation where people will say, hey, I want to just make 200 grand. If I make 200 grand, I'm happy. If I make 300, if I make 50, right? And when you're having these conversations with people, you can easily vet out who's realistic, who's going to be able to pay you the most based on their answers here. Some people are looking for a minimum ROI on their flips, like 14% after all is said and done is where they want to be at. Percent of ARV. These are people that will take the ARV, let's say it's 300 grand, and they want to pay a percent of that, 75% or 80%, for example, and then they're also going to minus repairs. And then that's the true number that they could pay for a property. And then we have other. And now we've got down here where we can get more details of explaining what that looks like. We ask additional things, ideal price range, how they can finance, do they buy sight unseen, things that kind of help us vet out who the best buyers are or who can move fast, who can follow through. I really like this one of understanding how many deals somebody did last year and how many deals they're trying to do this year. Lets you know if they're a big buyer or are they the type of person that's just kind of casual, doing one at a time or brand new, which those can be great buyers for your deals because sometimes they're really hungry, but it is still still good to know, and you can differentiate. For example, for us, if someone's doing 20 plus deals in a year, we give them a tag as a big buyer, and then we will target those people along with some of our VIPs, which we label for people we've successfully done business with in the past and that we want to do business with again. So if we did a deal and it worked out poorly, they're probably not going to get on our VIP list. But both of those two tags, VIPs and big buyers, we target specifically. They kind of get first look at all of our deals. They're the first people that we call because they have a high likelihood of performing as compared to just sending it out to your general list. That's why I really like this question. A couple other things: how quickly can they close, flood zones, foundations, deal breakers, and then other notes. So once you have built out your custom questions, you would save that. And now when you come and add in a new buyer, here they are right here in your buy box preferences. So why don't I take you through creating an example buyer, and then I'll show you how we would use this in our business. Obviously, some of the keys of having these phone conversations is just building rapport, understanding where people are at, and then also having them understand where you're at. Give them some credibility. We've been in this area for 2 years. We do fix and flips and buy and holds ourselves, but sometimes we just get more inventory than our teams can handle, and so we're gonna look for an end buyer to assign that to. We get multiple opportunities on a monthly basis. Just little things like this to let them really understand that you are here to add value and you're going to have quality deals for them, because guys, there are a lot of people out there that really don't know what they're doing, and they can give a lot of us a bad reputation from other buyers and a lot of agents as well. One of the biggest things is the target areas people are looking to buy. I'll be honest that we use our target cities as a much broader scope than just cities, and we don't have a lot of people, just the areas that we work in, that really focus on zip codes. What we hear a lot are specific cities, counties, large areas as a whole. For example, all of central Arkansas kind of encompasses like an hour radius from Little Rock. And we have some people, send me everything, just classic. Yeah, you want to dig into that a little bit more and see where they're based out of, or their favorites, or if you can get a little bit more out of them. If they're a big buyer and they say they buy all over, then by all means put all, for us, all Arkansas. That means the entire state. Every deal that we have in Arkansas, we're going to send to this buyer. But you can see we have a lot in here already. Once you have created something, it will be as a suggested option. If you start typing, it will narrow it down, so then you can just select something that's already in your system. All right, so let's give this person all Arkansas, but they really like Pulaski County and especially Little Rock. Don't have target zip codes for them, but I know that they like single family homes, and they'll do some condos for fix and flips and rentals. I got their percent rule, and they're $1 per profit flip. So I'm going to put here for myself notes: 1% rule, rentals, and 25K flip. All right, these are the main ones I want to focus on for the day. The rest is in here for you to customize and build out for yourself, but let's just see how this is going to play out. Okay, so now here's this buyer in the system that we have identified their target cities and their buy box preferences. The next thing I really like to do to make this even more powerful is to add some tags to this buyer so that we can sort them. All right, and we know that there are 1% rule and a 25K flip. So those are the tags I'm going to put: 1% and 25K. 1% you could see was already in there. 25K was new, so I just created that. You could also do things like a range of price in here so that you can capture broader chunks of people within your scope. Last thing I'm going to tag, because we do work multiple markets, I'm going to make this person an Arkansas buyer. Of course, we already had the specifics in the cities, but as a tag, I wanted it there as well. Now, this is why, because when you come to your buyers, and let's say now we've got 123 Main Street that we are trying to dispo, we're going to come in here and do some sorting and filtering. I already mentioned there's VIP buyers, target cities, and tags. So let's start off with our target cities, and we're going to get anybody who wanted all Arkansas. All right. And then I also want to add in the tag of anybody who is now a 1% rental property buyer, because the deal that I have fits that criteria. So this is where then after you hit apply, you will have ideally multiple people that you have already in this bucket, and that is going to be however many buyers for your deal that I would recommend sending an SMS campaign to or hitting the phone directly. Obviously, you're going to email as many people as possible, but this is going to just get you a leg up on targeting the very best people. Now, let me go back to this one more time. You can tags will be saved. Again, once you have typed something in, you will have them in here for your future use. So that way you can make sure you're using the same tags, because you need congruency. If you put one time you put 25K and then the next time you type it in and you use the $ in 25K, that could screw up some of your filtering. So it's really great that it is saved in here as previously used, so you can get that match. I hope that by showing you this example of how you can understand your buyers better will empower you to go out and find those buyers much easier, get into a position where you've got multiple offers, you're getting highest and best, and you're really getting capitalized. I hope you're really getting the most money that you can out of your efforts.